When you've been through narcissistic abuse, you don't just walk away unchanged. You carry invisible scars that reshape how you see yourself, how you trust others, and how you move through the world. These aren't weaknesses. They're survival mechanisms that your mind created to protect you. But understanding them is the first step toward healing. Today, we're diving deep into the 10 most common traits that emerge after narcissistic abuse. Some might surprise you, others might feel painfully familiar, but every single one of them makes perfect sense when you understand the psychological warfare that narcissistic abuse really is. Before we start, I want you to know that recognizing these traits in yourself isn't about self-blame, it's about self-awareness. And that awareness is your power to reclaim your life. Trait number 1, hypervigilance, always scanning for danger. After narcissistic abuse, your nervous system becomes like a smoke detector that's way too sensitive. You're constantly scanning rooms, reading facial expressions, analyzing tone of voice, looking for any sign that something bad is about to happen. This hypervigilance isn't paranoia, it's your brain trying to keep you safe. When you've lived with someone who could explode over nothing, who could turn loving words into weapons in seconds, your mind learns to watch for the smallest changes. You become an expert at reading people, sometimes knowing their mood before they do. The exhausting part is that this system doesn't turn off when you're safe. You might find yourself analyzing your friend's text message for hidden meanings, or feeling anxious when your boss calls an unexpected meeting. Your brain is still running that background program that says, danger could be anywhere. Trait number 2, emotional numbing, the protective shell. When emotions become dangerous, the mind learns to turn them down. Many survivors describe feeling like they're watching their life through glass, present but not fully connected to their feelings. This emotional numbing served you well during the abuse. Feeling too much joy might have triggered jealousy. Showing too much sadness could have been used against you. Your emotions became weapons in their hands, so your mind learned to keep them locked away. But now, in safety, you might struggle to feel excitement about good things, or find it hard to connect with people on a deeper level. It's like your emotional thermostat got stuck on low, and you're not sure how to adjust it back. Trait number 3, people-pleasing, the survival strategy. People-pleasing after narcissistic abuse isn't about being nice, it's about staying alive. When you've lived with someone whose mood could change everything, you learnt to become a master at keeping others happy. You developed an internal radar for what people wanted to hear, how they wanted you to act, what would make them comfortable. You learned to shrink yourself, to apologize for taking up space, to put everyone else's needs before your own. This trait can make you incredibly empathetic and caring, but it can also leave you feeling empty and resentful. You might find yourself saying yes when you mean no, or feeling guilty for having your own needs and opinions. Trait number 4, perfectionism, the impossible standard. Narcissistic abuse teaches you that mistakes are catastrophic. When nothing you did was ever good enough, when every small error was magnified into a character flaw, your mind learned that perfection was the only way to be safe. This perfectionism might show up as procrastination. If you can't do something perfectly, why start at all? Or it might show up as never feeling satisfied with your achievements, always finding flaws in your work, always pushing yourself harder. The cruel irony is that this drive for perfection often makes you highly successful in certain areas of life, but it comes at the cost of your peace of mind and self-compassion. Trait number 5, difficulty trusting your own judgment. Gaslighting is psychological warfare. When someone consistently tells you that your memories are wrong, your perceptions are off, your feelings are invalid, you start to doubt the very foundation of your own mind. This creates a deep uncertainty about your own judgment. You might find yourself constantly seeking validation from others, asking friends to confirm that your feelings are reasonable, or second-guessing decisions that you would have made confidently before. The narcissist's voice becomes internalized, creating a constant critic that questions every thought, every feeling, every choice you make. Learning to trust yourself again becomes one of the hardest parts of recovery. Trait number 6, isolation, the learned withdrawal. Narcissistic abuse often involves systematic isolation from friends, family, and support systems. But even after you're free, you might find yourself choosing isolation because it feels safer than risking more pain. You learned that relationships can be dangerous, that people can hurt you in ways you never imagined. So your mind creates protective barriers. You might avoid deep friendships, keep conversations surface level, or find excuses to stay home rather than socialize. This isolation can feel like protection, but it also keeps you from the connections that could help you heal. It's a double-edged sword that keeps you safe, but also keeps you alone. Trait number 7, chronic self-doubt, the questioning mind. When someone systematically undermines your reality, you lose confidence in your own perceptions. This creates a pattern of chronic self-doubt that extends far beyond the abusive relationship. You might find yourself constantly asking, "Am I being too sensitive?" or "Am I overreacting?" You might apologize for things that aren't your fault, or minimize your own experiences because you're not sure if they're bad enough to matter. This self-doubt can be paralyzing. You might avoid making decisions, struggle to set boundaries, or stay in situations that aren't good for you because you don't trust your own judgment about what you deserve. Trait number 8, emotional flashbacks, the invisible triggers. Unlike PTSD from a single traumatic event, complex trauma from narcissistic abuse creates emotional flashbacks that can be triggered by seemingly normal situations. You might feel sudden overwhelming shame, fear, or anger without understanding why. These flashbacks don't come with clear memories or images. They're just intense emotional states that feel completely disproportionate to what's happening in the present moment. You might feel like a child again, small and powerless, even though you're an adult in a safe situation. Understanding these flashbacks as trauma responses, rather than personality flaws, is crucial for healing. They're not signs of weakness, they're evidence of what you survived. Trait number 9, difficulty accepting compliments. When someone has consistently torn down your self-worth, genuine compliments can feel foreign, even uncomfortable. You might deflect praise, minimize your achievements, or feel suspicious when someone says something nice about you. This happens because compliments contradict the internal narrative that the narcissist installed, that you're not enough, that you don't deserve good things, that any success you have is somehow fake or unearned. You might find yourself automatically responding to compliments with self-deprecation, or feeling anxious when someone acknowledges your strengths. It's like your brain has been programmed to reject positive feedback about yourself. Trait number 10, hyperresponsibility, carrying the world. Narcissistic abuse often involves being blamed for everything: the abuser's emotions, their behavior, their failures, even their successes. This creates a pattern of hyperresponsibility where you feel accountable for things that are completely outside your control. You might find yourself constantly apologizing, taking responsibility for other people's feelings, or believing that if you just try harder, you can fix any situation. You carry an invisible weight of responsibility that was never yours to carry. This trait can make you incredibly reliable and caring, but it can also lead to burnout and resentment. You might find yourself in relationships where you're always the one doing the emotional labor, always the one trying to make things work. Now let's understand the path forward. Understanding these traits isn't about labeling yourself as broken or damaged. These are adaptations, intelligent responses that your mind created to survive an impossible situation. Every single one of them made sense in the context of abuse. The beauty of awareness is that it gives you choice. When you understand why your mind works the way it does, you can begin to gently challenge these patterns. You can start to trust your own perceptions again, set boundaries without guilt, and allow yourself to feel the full range of human emotions. Recovery isn't about erasing these traits overnight. It's about understanding them, honoring what they've done to protect you, and slowly learning new ways of being in the world. It's about reclaiming your voice, your truth, and your right to take up space in this world. Remember, healing isn't linear. There will be good days and hard days. There will be moments of breakthrough and moments of setback. But every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory worth celebrating. You survived something that was designed to destroy you. That strength is still inside you, waiting to be reclaimed. The person you're becoming is worth every difficult step of this journey. If this video resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more content that validates and supports survivors like you. And here's something I'm curious about. Which of these traits surprised you the most? Or maybe there's one you're struggling with right now. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Sometimes knowing we're not alone in these experiences can be incredibly healing. Also, if you found this helpful, you might want to check out our recent video on 9 key differences between trauma and abuse. It dives deeper into understanding the different ways our minds and bodies respond to these experiences, and it might provide some additional clarity on your own healing journey. Thank you for being here, for choosing to understand yourself better, and for taking steps toward healing. You deserve peace, joy, and relationships that honor who you really are.